Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. Here with me today, I have a diamond in the rough I want you guys to meet. His name is Jaylen Fuksa, defensive back out of Pittsburg State. Nice to have you today, sir.
How you doing? Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, nice to get a chance to meet one of the gorillas who's really doing good, man. I mean, you guys are rolling. Had a rough start to the season, but currently on a six-game win streak and hoping for a lot of great things, not only in your conference, but to make a splash in the playoffs this season. So, Jaylen, go ahead and introduce yourself so we can get started.
My name is Jaylen Fuksa, out of Frisco, Texas. I attended Reedy High School and got recruited right after high school. You know, Committed to Pittsburg State, and I've been here since.
Gotcha. So Jaylen, kind of want to talk about your early stages of your journey first until we get to your Pittsburg State days. So how long have you played football? Let's start with that question.
I've been playing football since I would say five. Football has been a staple in our family. I watched my older brother play football. You know, I have three brothers. We all play football, so I've been playing football at a very young age.
Cool. So started very early. Were you always a defensive back, or were you playing other positions growing up?
I was playing several positions. I was playing running back, linebacker at one time, a little bit of quarterback. I was playing a lot of positions.
Cool. So you talked about having some brothers, man. You ever play with your brothers like on the same team or what?
My youngest brother, he's actually on the team right now at Pitt. He's also a corner, so I'm grateful
Cool.
for that. That's cool.
So every once in a while, I might see both of you guys in the secondary there. So definitely fun to be able to play with your brother. So I don't know how the relationship is, but I would hope and imagine that you would say that's a great experience. So, but I hear you. As you had mentioned, attended Reedy High School there in Frisco. And so kind of want to talk about your high school days. I have in my notes, did a little bit of track in your early days there, but let's talk about your overall success in high school before we move forward. One of your fondest memories of those old days.
Um, you know, in high school, I played both ways. I wasn't really dedicated at a certain position yet. I was either flip flopping sides. My coaches didn't know where to put me yet because I felt like I was athletic enough to play both ways. Um, Going into my senior year, that's when I played both ways. I was actually corner and DB, and that was just the best memories of my life. Playing in Frisco, Texas. We had the best, like playing the best facilities. We were playing at the Star Toyota Stadium, so just playing and traveling, going to those stadiums were the best moments of my life.
So, as you had mentioned, I mean, you played both ways there in high school. And so, how was the recruiting, man? I mean, were people recruiting you as a wide receiver, as defensive back? I mean, and ultimately, how did you end up there at Pitt State?
Yeah, I had several schools trying to get me to play mainly just receiver. I had other schools trying to get me to play DB. I talked to my coaches. They felt like I could excel at DB, so that's what I went with. And Coach Owens, who is currently at Montana State right now, he recruited me heavily. So he showed me the love. He showed me the commitment at Pitt State, and he came to travel to me at Pitt State. Coming to see me at Reedy during the practices, during the spring ball practices. That's where I ended up with.
Cool. So, I mean, you end up there at Pitt State. They really wanted you at defensive back. Obviously, a playmaker that can do a lot. And so, I mean, the idea maybe is, well, perhaps we can utilize that as a return specialist as well. And I mean, I know that that's a huge part of your game. It's a huge part of your experience as a player. That obviously being a stellar, key player on special teams. So, but we will talk through that just a bit. Talk a little bit about being a student there at Pittsburg State, man. Talk up that school just a little bit. What makes it special for you?
Pittsburg State, hearing about it for the first time, I thought it was in Pennsylvania, but
Most people do.
but when I came up here on my visit, everything was great, small town, the campus, everything's close. Um, just the tradition here, just driving around the town, they have even their trash cans are painted red and yellow. They have gorilla statues outside of fast food restaurants. You know, that's that's when I knew like I wanted to be here, wanted to make this place home.
I will say, for what it's worth, I feel like the mascot of a gorilla is pretty damn awesome. Not too many people have that as the mascot, and so I mean, you come already with that image and expectation of being that tough, no nonsense type of player who's just gonna dominate your opponent. And I know that for a lot of people, that is the mentality when you go out there and you face your opponents on a regular basis. Go ahead and talk through this defense a little bit. Again, your role on the defense. I listed you as cornerback as we first began things, but go ahead and talk through your experience there in that secondary.
I feel like we have the best secondary in the conference. We pride ourselves trying to be the best secondary in the country. We have a very veteran secondary. Um, we're all making plays back there. We're all rotating in. I feel like my role in this defense, is just we love man coverage, so we're always in man coverage. Teams know we're in man coverage, but at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. It's just me versus the man in front of me. So I pride myself in locking down one side of the field, protecting the QB.
Cool, man. So, of course, your team has given you a whole lot of responsibilities over your tenure there. Again, as you had mentioned, being the lockdown corner on one side of the field. A guy with a ton of experience. You come into the 2025 season, in this being your fourth year as a starter in that secondary. So, a lot of experience there on secondary, a lot of experience on special teams. Dude, you bring a whole lot to the table as a prospect. What do you feel are some of your best traits when we're looking at you as a guy who's looking to enter the professional scene here very soon? What separates you from everyone else?
I feel like I'm a very calm guy. I'm not a rah-rah guy, but like my leadership, I care for my teammates. I show that to them. But you know, going to the football side of things, I feel like I'm a very quick dude. I'm a very sticky guy, man coverage. I don't panic when the ball's in the air. It doesn't show a lot on film, but I feel like I play the ball very well, being a former receiver. And yeah.
Yeah, so hey, I mean, I love the mentality of a receiver in my defensive backs because I mean, the ball is just as much yours as it is the next guy's when the ball's in the air. So I mean, you're gonna have to fight for it, and so you have to have this I don't know overall instinct and will to be able to get the ball and obviously you know try to knock the ball either out of the guy's hands or maybe make the turnover, which I know you've had a lot of experience doing that. Jaylen, one of the things that I put in my notes is something that I feel is really what you bring to the table, and that is that, dude, you have been very impactful on both defense and special teams. And so, talk to me a little bit about your experience on special teams because I know you're a kick-ass, guy there as a returner. So, talk through your experience there.
I mean, I love special teams. I love having the ball in my hands. Special teams is very important to me. I pride myself in putting the offense in great field position. I keep on trying to hit those line drives till I get that home run. You know, Yeah, I played in practice. I played a lot of um, corner. Yeah.
So I mean, you're playing gunner, they're on coverage, as well as being a returner, and so you are bringing really the whole package there, for a guy on special teams, who definitely has that speed and quickness that you use on defense and special teams. Let's go ahead and talk through some of your best moments so far, because I mean, I know we've talked about what you bring to the table. So I want to get to some of these examples of which where you were able to be so sticky in coverage that you've gotten the turnover, and then also a guy with some good vision and patience as a runner, as a special teamer. So want to talk through that's actually last season, for 2024.
Mhm.
You guys had a solid outing. I mean, 8-3 season is nothing to be ashamed of. Very good season. Um, Dude, you guys opened up with a great performance, upsetting one of the best teams in the country against Ferris. But then also had a lot of other good matchups as well. You had a kick return for a touchdown against Washburn, and then you
Mhm.
had another great performance against Central Oklahoma. Which one of those matchups really sticks out to you, man? What are some of your best memories from 2024 as we look back on it?
I would say that Washburn game, that kick return, you know, my coach didn't put me on returner for the whole year. Beginning of the year, we had a returner get hurt, and it was my opportunity to, step up. And before we went out there on the field, I told my teammates, I feel like I'm going to return this. So, I caught the ball. I saw the left side of the field, just all grass, and I just shot for it.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got to take advantage of those moments because I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I feel like some teams just don't have a huge emphasis on special teams, but it is truly one of those things where like it can change so much when
Mhm.
you're thinking about the general course of events. I mean, when you're talking about things like field position and momentum. I mean, you were able to really get one over on them on special teams, which dude, when you look at that final score of Washburn 39-31, I think it is what the final was. That was a key moment, man. I mean, if you wouldn't have gotten that one, I mean, who's to say you guys would have come out with the victory? But you were able to really, come out and do well in that fashion. Um, Want to talk through at least one of these other performances here from last season before we move forward. Anything else that comes to mind for you when we kind of reflect on that season before we get to this year?
I'll say during Ferris State, I'm pretty sure we were in cover three. I was press bailing. Me specifically, I didn't make the play, but our Sam linebacker, Alex Gaskell, he had a key play. He was dropping back in coverage and made a one-handed interception. And that just set the tone for the whole game. So whole defense is about starting fast. Setting the tone of the game, and he did just that.
Uh, Jaylen, I will say this much, man. I mean, when you're able to go out there and deliver a loss to perhaps one of the premier teams at the Division II level, um, telling people that Pittsburg State is no joke either, and should be also in that mix of teams considered as one of the top institutions at the Division II level. And so you go out there, you upset Ferris State. You're not backing down from them, of course, and you end up with the victory. I know this season didn't start out all that great, but you guys did something very similar this year there towards the beginning, where you were able to get yet another excellent win against one of these premier opponents in Grand Valley. So talk about that matchup, man, because I mean I know that a lot of people were underestimating you, but you were able to go out there and deliver once again against some people that just kind of doubted you guys. So talk through it.
All week our coaches were talking about how, they had talented receivers, so we were going to be in man coverage a lot. And, you know, they were a run dominant team, so they had mixed in a lot of outside zone, inside zone, counter. You know, our keys to win that game were just stopping the run, playing tight man coverage, and, just letting our D line work.
So, hey, it's nice that there's like a full, complete victory, team win there. So everybody was all on the same page. I mean, and you got to be in order to get these victories against these premier teams. And again,
Mhm.
as I mentioned, let's not sleep on the Gorillas, man. They will knock you out if you're not paying attention. Um, uh, Again, you guys right now are rolling with a 6 game win streak. And so hopefully this will continue as the season moves forward. One of the other matchups that I wanted to talk through is you had a key interception against with your game against Fort Hays State. So can you talk me through that particular play?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 3rd and 10. I was pressed up. We were in a two-man coverage, so I was inside underneath. He ran a inside breaking route. He sat down. QB got out of the pocket. He started scrambling. So just being as sticky as I am, I just stayed on that hip, and I saw the ball coming.
So, I mean, you obviously just take advantage of that opportunity, which I know you try and do that as much as possible. You talk a little bit, you've used the term sticky as a corner, which I don't know if people really understand what that means, but I mean, really, you've already talked about the fact that you play man a lot and your opponents know it and they still can't stop it. Um, what else maybe perhaps you think I don't know, you guys as a whole don't get as much respect about? Maybe some of your teammates there at Pitt State, man. Talk a little bit about the guys around you. Who are some of the players there that everybody in the world needs to know this season?
Uh, Number 7, Jordan Rogers. He's one of our safeties. They move him around a lot in the defense and puzzle pieces, but he's a dominant player, great tackler, um, great communicator, great teammate, great brother. Who else? We have Kira Martin on the D line. He affects the QB a lot. And that benefits me, helps me a lot, make plays on the ball. We have James Smith, our end. Pressuring the QB, great technique, all that. And we have Ryan Medeiros, free safety. Again, great communicator, great, great player to be on the field with. And we have Reggie, another safety. He can cover the field great. I haven't seen anybody like him, run side to side across the field like he does.
Right. You really talked through a lot of those guys there on the defense. So certainly the depth there at Pittsburg State is no joke. People need to take you guys for real. I know last season, I mean, you guys did get to the playoffs. Here's hoping you make a deeper run and maybe, hopefully, like let's speak it into existence that you guys can get to the championship and just kind of earn that opportunity towards the end of this season. So, Jaylen, we've talked about you and your overall experience that you bring, but I want to get a chance to meet the guy under the helmet. So, talk to me about you a little bit, man. Any of your interests? If you got any fun hobbies or something, any interesting fun facts? Talk to me a bit.
I'm a really chill guy. I'm a homebody for real. You know, I cut hair on the side for my teammates. Little side barber when I can. I like watching movies. I like going to the movie theaters. Just spend time with family, spend time with my girlfriend. Just simple things.
Gotcha. I'm gonna try and feed off of that a little bit as we uh, move forward. I picked out a few fun questions to ask you before we got going. So, bro, just play along a little bit so that we can get through some of this. You'd mentioned before you actually have a few other siblings. So, I mean, I know growing up, it can be challenging with the TV and what you're watching as a kid. So, when you're a kid watching TV, what when we reflect back on it, were you watching? What were your favorite cartoons growing up?
Ooh, favorite cartoons. I would say mm, Danny Phantom.
All
I
right,
love
all
Danny
right.
Phantom.
Uh,
Kids
that's a
Next
classic.
Door. What else? Say SpongeBob. Everyone likes SpongeBob.
All right. Yeah, I mean, seems kind of, uh, typical, of course, but I mean, some fun stuff there. Favorite board game or card game?
Favorite card game, I would say most definitely Uno.
All right,
I feel
that's
like I'm
that
very
that
good
one's
with it.
good, solid. I get that from a lot of people. Um, a few other ones here, man. Is a hot dog a sandwich? I know it's a little controversial, but I want to get your take.
I feel like for a sandwich, you gotta have bread on top and bread on the bottom. You know what I mean? So hot dog is it's on the left and right side, so I wouldn't consider it a sandwich.
So it's connected like a taco, almost like a meat taco. So
I feel like they're in the same family, but it's not the same.
all right, it's just a fun little question to ask you. So I mean, I just have a good time asking guys this question. So trying out a new question here. Pick one or the other if you don't mind. Ninjas or pirates?
Ninjas.
All right, all right. So does that play into some of your other interests, like outside of football, like when maybe you're choosing a movie to watch or what?
I mean, I feel like if I had to choose one, a ninja would fit me. I'm pretty low key, out the way. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. And you had mentioned to me again a little bit of a movie guy. Uh, Favorite football movie?
Favorite football movie. I would say Waterboy, Adam Sandler.
That one's so funny, but I mean, I think one of the things that I love about it is just like how he is able to, I don't know, flick that switch
Hmm.
and just kind of be intense and just completely take someone's head off out there on the field. And then when it's all like when the play is over, like he's just there, like as a calm, chill guy,
Yeah.
ready to be your friend. So I mean, it's just kind of fun. Um, Love Adam Sandler too. Love a lot of his movies.
Hmm.
They're a lot of fun to watch. Um, Jaylen, who's your guy at the next level, man? I mean, who'd you grow up maybe being a fan of? Is there a guy at the next level who you just love watching his film?
Growing up, living in Frisco, I would say Stephon Gilmore, just his IQ. I watch a lot of him, pass retain, his technique, his press technique. I would also say Meek Robinson, being a smaller guy, coming into the league, I would be considered a smaller guy. So just seeing how he plays, how his game, how he competes with these bigger receivers, and I would also say um, J.C. Horn. I watch a lot of him as well.
I mean, you're talking about all these guys that you know have done a lot of great things at the NFL level. Many guys who were drafted very early, and so we'll see what happens to you as you pursue your dream, and maybe hopefully one day play alongside some of these guys. As we close up shop, once again, tell everybody what you would be bringing to the table if one of these NFL teams took a chance on you. Close with your final thoughts, if you don't mind.
What I would bring to the table, I'll just be a great teammate, represent the team well. You know, I would just be, great teammate, when when it comes to the football side of things, just doing my job all the time, just being just being dominant on the field.
Yeah, and I mean, we've talked a lot about what you bring to the table. I mean, we're talking about a guy who can be very impactful on both defense and special teams. You talked about this whole idea of just really just being confident in your overall technique and ability to play man coverage with anybody out there. Dude, I love the fact that you also have a lot of experience as a player too. I mean, again, 4 year starters, no joke. I mean, I love that. Again, right now we're seeing Pitt State rolling on a 6 game win streak, and want to wish you all the best as you really chase title this season and everything else you got going on. All right, cool. Once again, I got with me Jaylen Fuksa, defensive back out of Pittsburg State. Check him out this season.